what should happen? The power of Hadyn, the power of his whimsy and wit is often in the silences, in the expectation he creates in his players, and more importantly for you, in his listeners. And what we're going to describe today is a specific movement from one of his quartets in the set of Opus 33, which has a very appropriate nickname, The Joke. But expectation and silence is his main weapon. And I want to sharpen your skills a little bit before we play the whole movement. Our colleague at Stanford, a great composer, Professor Jonathan Berger, has done a lot of work and research on Hadyn, the brain, the human brain, and expectation. And we've stolen this little example from him, and it does require your participation. You ready? Yes. So all you have to do is respond musically. That was terrible. Let's try it again. Now you know it's coming. It's going to be really good. Much better. Much better. I want one more time just to really get it in your system. Excellent. Clapping is good. Sing along. Really good. Okay. Now, I want you to feel that in your bodies and in your brains, but react silently. And I'm going to give you a couple of other examples. Possibility, expectation in silence. Here's one. Here's another one. Thanks, Mom. That was great. So you understand the concept. It's really basic. The idea, setting up expectation, and of course then messing with that expectation, which is going to be the point of this movement. Another thing that will help you really get the joke in this presto from Opus 33, number 2, is to understand what a rondo is. How many rondo fans do we have here? Oh, not a whole lot. Okay, it's really easy. It's a simple musical form that audiences and players in 1782, when this was premiered, would have been totally connected to and aware of and lived through it. The rondo is really simple. There's a main theme. We'll call it home. Here it is, just so you get in your system. You've already heard it 3 times, so it should be part of who you are now. Here's our home rondo tune. We got it? Cool. So the simple challenge for you all is wait for that, wait to go home, and live that tune as home with Hadyn. So you can tap your feet, you can sing along, hum quietly, all great. You will hear it 7 times in this movement. You might actually become slightly annoyed by the 6th or 7th time, but that's the whole point, because it's setting up expectation. Now, the other part of a rondo, and what fun is coming home if you never leave, are episodes. So here's an example of an episode. It's like, going on an interesting journey, musically speaking. Here's an episode. And guess what? Okay, you'll get that on the playthrough. So that episode, we return home, you feel really good about yourselves because you're following the game, you're following the rondo. And then, after the 7th time, and you go, I get it. Okay, enough of this rondo tune. Jeez. You have this hilariously pretentious, slow, grandiose music. that point, you're slightly confused. You're expecting, you're not really sure, and then the joke will be on us and you. So we're going to give a complete performance of this 4.5-minute movement. I just want to say, we really tried hard to change the format of this year's event. Well, it didn't go so well. It was supposed to be Hadyn X. It was going to be really cool because it's really hard to choose one thing from Hadyn. He wrote 68 masterpieces. He was the godfather. He was the creator, the instigator. For many string quartet players around the world and many audience members, Joseph Hadyn is God. An incredible figure. So I just want to, don't take my word for it though. This is what, well, another sort of good composer said about Hadyn. More importantly, he said about Haydn's music. Could amuse, shock, arouse laughter and deep emotion as no other. And that was his friend and co-collaborator Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Imagine the scene in Vienna in the early 1780s. Dinner parties which included quartet readings with Hadyn and Mozart taking part. So, if you have a spare weekend, just sort of start with Opus 33 and branch out. Experience the string quartets of Joseph Hadyn. It will be life-changing. This is him at his most humorous, the final movement, Presto, from Opus 33, number 2.